What's going on, everybody, and welcome into another week of everybody's favorite new podcast. It's the What the Puck podcast. I'm Nick. He's Gunk. Gunk, how you doing this week?
I'm doing all right. We're hanging in there. We're in the month of my birth. January is here. New Year's over. Holidays are over, and now it's gonna get into the, as they call them in baseball, the dog days of January for our NHL hockey season here.
Yeah, let's jump right into it after being off last week. The Devils coming off a couple days off. They get set to come back tomorrow against Tampa, but first game that we were talking about is their game against the Blackhawks. You can take it away from
Woo.
there.
Whoa, what a game! Now, when I was talking about the other game against Boston during, I think it was November or early December, I thought that was the game of the year until I watched the old school game of the year, which was the Chicago Blackhawks versus the New Jersey Devils. This game was so old school, it wasn't even funny. The only thing that they didn't get was that in that one game where everyone got a misconduct penalty. That's the only thing this game was missing. You had hits. I mean, unfortunately, you had injuries for
Ooh.
Connor Bedard and Jack Hughes in the game. Who's gonna be out a
Yeah,
few
he
weeks
just
with
he
something.
kind of just fell on his knee. Like I don't know what he just kind of tumbled. What happened there?
It's a Jack thing, and I don't know. I don't want to like again because he's so
Is the
young. I
boy
don't want to like
fragile? Like,
pull.
what's wrong with him?
I don't. Well, again, if you watch every game, he falls every game. Once a game, you call it every game. I don't know if he's just too fast for his own brain or something sometimes, but my man will fall at least once a game, like out of the clear blue with nobody around, no hits, no none. Will just fall on his ass or fall on his knees or anything.
I mean, I'd rather have a player falling than just like the Rangers have Lindgren who gets hurt every game. Like every game, you're pretty much assuming that he's going to be skating to the bench with like very little power, and it's just like, come on, dude, like
Yeah, but like I said, it's now getting to a point with Jack. It's kind of like, is he going to be injury prone? I mean, like I said, he's only 21, and this is probably like his either second or third major surgery. Not a major surgery, but major injury he's had, and especially to his upper body. It seems like his shoulder and his arm is the biggest concerns. And again, for a hockey player, besides your legs with your strength, and especially a sniper like Jack, his arms and his upper body are really important to his gameplay. I mean, even in that game, he put a good hit on one of the old Devils. I think it was Brent Searcy or something during the Chicago game. Yeah, but like I said, this game, go back to that game. That game was ridiculous with the hits, and
that hit from
I was
Smith on
going
Bedard was
crazy.
ridiculous. I mean, clean hit, clean. Don't get
Clean
me wrong,
hit.
clean hit. I
Yeah,
mean, you can't even argue it. I mean, I saw people online trying to debate it, and everybody was saying you can't help that Bedard is 5'10" and Brendan Smith is 6'1".
and he had his head down a little. I mean, he got through the defense,
Yeah, a
and he
little
put his
bit,
head
but
down for a
like,
second, and
and
he
like,
didn't.
credit to Brendan Smith for letting up a little bit. Like he didn't full on barrel through Bedard. He
No, he
let up
didn't.
a little bit to make up for the height and everything, which is fine. Bedard's
Absolutely.
just a little short. He's a little small guy.
And he got caught right in the jaw, which is what the injury is. He's going to be out at least about
6 to 8.
6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, so I mean, for being little, I mean, he did hold up a
For
little
being
bit on
tiny.
that shot, but God bless Nick Foligno, man. He came right to his rescue. I mean, stepped up and like right off. It was again old school, right off the face off. Jumped with Smith and was like, "Let's go." And Brendan Smith was like, "Let's do this." And boom, they were off to the races. One of the longest fights I've ever seen. Oh my god, this thing was like 2 minutes long with no action really. They were just kind of dancing around, and then they finally got going. But yeah, like I said, the Chicago game was a very exciting game. Like I said, very old school, just very chippy, very just like I said, old school '90s kind of game, which I enjoyed. And again, with the win, of course, that helps it out. And again, I don't know who these people are on these boards thinking Michael McLeod's gonna get freaking traded. Motor Mike
Why?
has been one of the MVPs of this year, if not one of the unsung heroes. Yeah, there was rumors that he was gonna get traded for one of these defensemen and stuff that they desperately need. I mean, they're scraping the bottom now for defense.
Isn't a lot of the team injured too, or like
Dude,
hurting?
the team is like in it is like urgent care 101 over that place. I swear, it's like I said, you got Jack injured, you got Timo who's now on IR, you got Palat who's hurt, you got let's see who else we got. I mean, God, the list is so long. Nosik has been out basically since the beginning of the year, and he just had surgery on his right foot, so he's gonna be out a while. Like I said, they're calling up people like that are AHL level. It's like it's getting ridiculous.
So
over
is
here.
Chicago. Have you seen that roster now?
Oh,
Oh, it's
yes.
brutal.
You see Chicago. I mean, they've been picking up people left and right off waivers, just trying to fill their roster up.
So have Anaheim.
Just with decent NHL play, with a
Something.
two-way kind of player. Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, and again, the goaltending is just killing me. Thank God for Nico Dawes, though. Nico Dawes has come up and played really well in his couple starts that he's played.
Okay.
But like I said, sending Akira down, give him a refresher, give him some starts in AHL, build his confidence back. And again, Vanacek, I don't know what to say about him anymore. It's so up and down with him. It's like we're gonna talk about which game was it? The Vancouver game.
Yeah.
Was it the Vancouver game? No, I'm sorry. He didn't play Vancouver. We played the Boston game. He played the Boston game, and like I said, we got the game back to 3-2, I think it was, and he let up the softest goal ever that made it 4-2 and just clinched that game. It was all over. It was, like I said, he's so up and down. Sometimes he'll make the greatest, tremendous save, and you're so behind him, and then he'll just give up a softie, and you're just like, I don't know what to do with him, man. It's like, especially with all these injuries now. I mean, I'm going to the fact now. I'm kind of convinced that maybe that team last year just overachieved, and this is the team we're gonna get this year, though. I mean, for this year, it's gonna be a borderline wild card to maybe a third spot team in the Metro this year. This is what it's gonna be.
I saw
Maybe
so many people saying that they were going to win the division, though.
I had them win them. I had them win after that preseason. I had them winning the President's Trophy. I was so excited. But now you got to look at the facts in front of you. They're going to be a middling, like I said, about a playoff team. I don't think they'll be as bad to not make the playoffs. I'm thinking they're going to get one of these wild card spots or jump into maybe the third place to jump into the mix though. But yeah, the expectations. But again, all Devils fans got to realize this team is young. Don't go trading away a Nemeth or Shaman Casey, who did really good with the U.S. team this year at the World Juniors. I mean,
Shout out to him.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And again, that will lead us into our other story of the day. And
stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. But yeah, like I said, we have all this tremendous, talent down and players that are playing in college and playing in juniors that we haven't even seen yet, that we're building this team around. Don't go trading it off for a 32-year-old goaltender or something right now where, you don't even know if he's going to help, the balance of this team. You don't know that yet. Say this year, play what you got, make some trades at the trade deadline, build up that defense, definitely. Try to get maybe a veteran in here and there for defense. Roll with Dawes and Vanacek and even Schmidt if he comes up. Try to make the playoffs and then see what happens in the playoff, because like Florida last year, you get into the playoffs, you hit that hot streak in March in April, and you could just stride through the playoffs and hit your stride. So for me, as a Devils fan, that's just what I'm hoping for this team, because I know the core of this team is in their 20s. The core of it, Jack, Nico, Luke, all these guys are like between 20 and 25 years old. Even Jesper Bratt. Jesper Bratt's a young kid. He came in with Nico. These are all young kids that they gotta establish something to set those core four up. Put your veterans around them, and then roll from there. See what the market opens up for, in at the end of the season if you think that goaltender is going to be the end all be all to make to make the next step up into the playoffs and be a Stanley Cup contender like a lot of people thought they were. But like I said, I don't find it. Again, a lot of people say that they were frauds last year. I don't find them being the fraud thing. I just think they overachieved last year. I think that was the problem.
Is it a little concerning though? Like, are you a little concerned because like going back to you mentioned the Vancouver game, the night after the Chicago game, you put up 4 goals again, but this time the Devils lose 6-4. I mean, is that a little concerning after that game, or were you happy with the performance in that game? Did you feel like they had an ability to win?
I personally watching that game, they played a great first period coming out on a back-to-back. They played a great first period. They did get the 1 goal allowed that I think Miller had it hit off a skate or he interfered with the goaltender or something where, they disallowed the goal. They got it. It was 0-0 at the end of 1. I was excited. I was like, all right, they're playing with this team. It's a good rhythm. They didn't have Jack. It was, they were playing their game. Vancouver came out and just took it to us in a second. Scored the 3 quick goals. But you had that, like, you were like, oh, like, all is lost. But they came back, and it was the gritty players that came back again. Brendan Smith scored a goal. Oh, well, I think he didn't get credit for it. I think Nico got the final credit for it. But
yeah, no, Brendan Smith had 2 assists on the night it's showing.
He had the 2. Yeah, he was originally credited with the 4th goal. But like I said, I think they gave it to Nico. I think Nico did get the little tip-in action on it. So, yeah. But again, Brendan Smith was attributing. Colin Miller scored 2 goals in that game. And he's been really fantastic since, I mean, again, he's not a shooter, but he's played great defense in front of the goalies. He's been putting shots on like crazy. Like, if you watch the games, Colin Miller has been shooting like crazy. He just hasn't been able to hit the net until that Vancouver game. And he scored, like I said, 2 really good goals. Got it back to down 1, and it was just, you just felt like they couldn't get over the hump in that game. It was just like something would, again, they got I said Holla had got it to 3-2, and then all of a sudden 12 seconds later, boom, it was 4-2. And like I said, you kind of felt the air leave the stadium and leave the arena and stuff, and it was heartbreaking. And again, I think it was more like a lot of people were anticipating all 3 Hughes brothers playing again, or and then Jack got hurt in the Chicago game, and then it was just the game didn't have the same feeling if without Jack in the game. But like I said, I like the way they battled through it, especially on a second of back-to-back nights. They battled through. They got it to 1. They had the building going. And again, Vancouver's just too good. They really are a great team.
Get ready for me to lay into it.
I'm sure you are, because if my Vancouver game wasn't as bad, the Rangers game was even worse.
2 nights later, Vancouver comes trotting into the Garden. Rangers score the first goal. All right, cool. Looks like it's going to be a good game. Had a little inkling before the game that somebody was going to score. Whatever. Have the game on at work, and I'm not paying too much of it. I have it on the speaker, and I'm walking around, and I hear Sam Rosen, the legend himself, go, "Score, JT Miller," and I start laughing because I fucking knew it. Welcome home, bud.
Is it so funny that it?
Oh, it's hilarious! It's fucking hilarious. Hardy har.
So weird because in other sports I feel like it's not as predominant as in hockey though. When a player comes back to like his old team or plays at his old arena, it always seems they score. I noticed that with the Devils every year. Yep. That it was like former Devils always come in.
The Rangers are known for 2 things. They are known for allowing the first goal of a career or season, and allowing a former player to dog on them for an entire night.
I'm glad it's not just me, because it always feels like the Anaheim game, Henrique hat trick. Even the game they played against Calgary, Sharon Dovid scored. I mean, it really just seems like former players always get up for those games. It's so funny.
Yeah, no, they love coming into their old barn and just saying, you know what, it's time for me to wreck shop here,
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, boo me. I don't care. I'm not on your team anymore. You can boo me.
And JT Miller, who was he was a good I mean, a good range. He
He
wasn't
was all right.
great, but he was good.
He was a good center.
He was a good center, but he got traded to Vancouver, got put on that line, and now it's like
I
lights
mean,
out.
I'm
He is
ha-
lights out.
I mean, granted, if I mean, as much as I'd love to have JT Miller back, not at that price.
No.
But we could talk about pricings on contracts too.
Yeah.
I would love to have him on the team, but like, where do you? I don't even know where I'd put him. Like third line, I guess, because your Trocheck is the best center right now.
Right.
like I, that game really just showed how little defensively the Rangers know how they like what to do. Like, and it still felt like a winnable game for most of the time, which genuinely shocked me because like I genuinely don't know how you can go down 5-2 and your fans still feel like it's a game that you can win. Like
Yeah.
the Rangers got the game to 3-2 and I was like, "Okay, cool. It's build off this and you should be able to make a game out of this." I turn the game back on, it's 5-2 and I'm like, "Yep, same old team." You've had one
That's how I felt too. I felt the same exact way that Saturday night. I felt the same exact way.
You've had
It
one
was
win this entire year and like it was against Chicago. That doesn't mean anything to me.
yeah,
you
definitely.
you forced to come back in Montreal kind of and you lost in a shootout, so like you get a point there, I'll give you that. But every other game that you're losing, and I've said it week after week, you're losing and you're losing badly.
Yep.
Like when this team loses, they make sure like they are losing.
Yeah, they just lose it out on you.
And like the defense has got to be better. I keep saying it every week. The defense has got to be better. Hopefully, Kako is back soon. He's already out of a no contact jersey, so like,
I'm good.
hopefully he should be back soon. The Rangers just recalled Jake Lecision until he comes back because they dropped Othman.
Yeah.
Whatever. Othman was fine while he was here for there's like 2-3 games. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing
First
great.
cup of coffee.
But this team is not doing it right now. They gotta be better. They gotta figure out what they're doing. Laviolette's switching up the lines right now. They put Will Cooley on the first line with Kreider and Zibanejad, dropped Wheeler down to the third line. They should drop Wheeler into the sun for all I care, but like,
He had that hot start too, and now he's just cooled off ridiculously. Just looking at his stats.
Yeah, he is frozen. I don't know what's wrong with him. I guess it's just old. He's suffering from old.
He's just suffering from old right now. Yeah.
But like,
it was a good signing for the price it was at the time, and again, he started off really well, but again, just ice cold right now.
I keep talking to people everywhere, and I'm asking them like questions. I'm like, "What is your opinion on the Blake Wheeler experiment?" And they're all saying, "Oh, he's got to go like instantly." I keep on having to agree with them because like this first line is being held up by Mika and Kreider, and they're not doing anything. So your first line is your fourth line,
right?
And like you should just. I keep saying make the second line the first line, or just call them the second line and give them first line minutes.
Right.
Because like they're double shifting Laffy, they're double shifting Panarin, like they're playing on the top line because Wheeler sucks so bad. Something's got to change here with this team, and I feel like it's not the goaltending because people are still trying to blame Igor, still trying to blame Quickie. It's not either of them. It's the defense in front of them. Keandre Miller can't play defense. Trouba can't play defense. Fox and Lindgren look passable. Gustafson, I barely see every night. Schneider's okay when he gets a decent goal. And a quarter of your offensive core is contributing every night. That's about it. Every goal against the Vancouver was the second line. It was Panarin and 2 by Trout. So, like, there's clearly something going on here that is not an issue with the coach, not an issue with like the goaltending part of the team. It's the rest of the team. I don't feel like they're they're not really clicking in a way that really feels compatible for how they were at the beginning of the season. I don't know where they fell off. I guess they're still just trying to get over the holidays and everything, but like tough shit. You've played games since then, like you're fine.
Right.
It's a big ol' oh no with this team right now. They're getting ready to go play in St. Louis tomorrow, and it's just fuck, because Buchnevich is there.
Yeah, there you go. There's gonna be another one at least on the board.
Yep.
So what do you think? So what do you think they should do coming up now? You think what's your number one priority? You think they should be looking at right now?
They gotta
Is
learn.
probably
They
defense.
gotta learn to kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. Like,
Hmm.
Stop trying to play this cute shit. Just keep it simple. Keep it smart. Like, it's gonna sound dumb. Play your game. Just fucking go out there, play hot. Don't go out there like you did with Turk and be like, oh, let's go play that hockey. Like, go out there, play La Violette's hockey. Go out there, have fun. Know that you have a team that can keep winning games. You won 18 games to start the season and only lost like 3, 4.
Right.
You have you have the team, you have the skill to keep winning. The group hasn't changed. The mentality shouldn't have changed. Nothing should change for this team to consistently be losing games like this now.
Right.
But
Listen,
yeah,
again. Sometimes it seems to get into that funk of middle of the season. They just kind of drift away, kind of back away a little bit. But
like I mean, Boston did, Vegas did. So like I understand that good teams are going to just slow down a little bit. But like after seeing how fast they were, I guess I just wasn't expecting how fast the slowdown was gonna be. But
like I
like
said, as Rangers fans, like I said, you get that momentum going into the first part of the season, and you get excited over it, and then when a little lull like this happens, it's like you just think the world is ending. But like you said, if they can just get back to playing their game, I mean, yes, it is a dumb cliche, but keep it simple, play your game, and everything will work out if you can get it going. Like I said, that's one of the things that it's so hard in hockey to like when you hit a funk, you're kind of like you're in that funk. It takes so much energy to get out of it. But that's why you have the leaders on your team, and that's why those people wear the A's and the C's for it to get them built up.
the C needs to get ripped off of who's wearing it.
Yeah.
Trouba's a good outside off the ice guy. I'll give him that. He's a really good guy, but like holy shit, he is not the captain for this team. I don't think anybody on this team is good enough yet to wear a C.
Right.
Trouba's respectable, but like not really. He's not respected by a lot of people in the league unless you're a Rangers fan.
Right.
Or a Jets fan that can't let go, but like I don't think he deserves it. He hasn't shown that he can. He doesn't do anything on the ice that's good. All of his off ice stuff, I mean, props to him. He's a fantastic guy, but like we've said about the Devils or other teams, fantastic nice guys aren't going to win you hockey games every night.
No.
They are.
No.
He's a pylon. He's a straight traffic cone most nights. That's that's the best way I could describe this team right now. Is just woof.
And which is why I like the on the Devils. I like Nico being the captain of this team because you could tell that he's not a big emotional like a big rah guy, but he settles that team down. If you look at the games that he missed this season and the way they played in those games compared to where he's in the lineup, it's night and day. I mean, I think the record. I think they're like a 600 percentage when he's in, and maybe like a 40% win when he's out. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, and he's not like I say he's not a big scorer. I mean, he's gonna be one of the top scorers, but he's not. Like an NHL, like a Jack is, looking for the league lead in scoring, but he's constant. He's a presence on the ice all the time. He plays the 200-foot game, which is why I love him as the captain instead of like a Jack or somebody like that.
Yeah. Oh wow. The Devils this season with Nico Hischier in the lineup are 17, 8, and 2.
There you go. Pulling up the stats. Yeah, that's my point exactly. Like
And real
That's
quick,
what a
those
captain
stats were
does
from
for a team.
StatMuse. Good site.
I said,
But yeah, no, go ahead.
no, no. Like I said, yeah, you're the numbers guy. I give you like percentages. Like I said, I did see a stat like that, like, but I couldn't remember the percentages exactly. But I know they win a hell of a lot more games when he's in the lineup than when he's not. So, like I said, and again, I feel like I said, when Nico's in the lineup, and like I said, Jack right now is going to be out for a little while. Luckily, it's not. He's not going to need surgery. They're calling it about week to week kind of injury. So, but again, he's like I said, his production is fantastic, but Nico's presence is just on the ice. Like I said, on the ice, not a big talker off the ice, but he's a really good captain for this team. And because again, I had one of the greatest captains of all time, Scott Stevens, who was loud off the ice and loud off the ice. So it's a good difference between them two. But like I said, I like Nico as the captain of this team. A lot of people wanted Jack to be the captain just because he's the best player, but sometimes
The
the
best
best players
shouldn't
don't
do
make.
it.
Yeah, the best players don't make the best captains.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
That's why people are always. That's why I see Rangers fans are always like, "Oh, give the seat to Panarin, give the seat to like Mika." Mika, I can
No.
understand, but like, no, Panarin, no. You gotta. If there's anybody that would deserve it, it's Kreider, but he doesn't want it.
Right.
So like, I don't give it to anybody.
I
Uh,
mean, they rolled a couple years ago without captains, and they were fine with it.
yeah, no, they were more than fine. I mean, granted,
Yeah.
at one point they had five at a night. Like they had five people wearing it. It was just like, okay, that's a little ridiculous.
Well, yeah, a little bit.
But like, I mean, I in terms of the captaincy right now, he's more concerned about his art. So like, I rip it off his jersey and sew back a blue patch.
How do you feel about like a player like Fox being your captain? I mean, that's he's
Give
again
him a couple more years.
couple more years.
Couple more years. Wait
Yeah.
until I feel like if Trouba's gone, then and like nobody else on the team wants it, then give it to Foxy. See if he wants it. But
Because I feel like just watching him play, I feel like he would be a good captain. Like just the
uh,
games I've seen him in, like I don't know why he just gives me that feeling of
no.
having a C on his
Uh,
chest.
Lindgren.
Lindgren?
He's an absolute warrior that fires up this team. Absolutely.
There you go.
Even when he does get hurt, like in a game, and is just skating off skating off to the bench, just slow, he'll come back out and have a really good shift and really just find a way to just be a good injector for this team. So no, I feel like if it's anybody, it would be like Lindgren, but I feel like he's too humble to take it,
Gotcha.
which is the issue with this team. They are so they're so selfless, and it's just like sometimes you can't be
I hear you.
like
You need one or two troublemakers. You
yeah.
always again, especially a hockey team is so weird. It's like it's compared to other sports. It's like you sometimes you need the super nice guys that are nice on the ice, off the ice. You need troublemakers that are just unruly on the ice, but like always nice guys off the ice. And then you have your stars, like I said, your goal scorers, your point getters, and stuff like that. Like I said, you got to find a good mixture of players on a especially on an NHL level. You got to find a good mixture of players because if you look at a lot of Stanley Cup champions, it's mostly they got a good mixture of leadership, of goal scoring. Oh, look at Vegas last year. Like I said, Mark Stone is a great example of that.
Oh, absolutely.
Not one of the flashiest players in the world, but is a good constant player. Plays a 200-foot game, and is the leader of that team. Where you got like an Eichel who's like is the superstar and who's the points getter, the goal scorer and stuff.
Yeah, this this team has a close ability to have something similar to that, but is just always finding a way to fall short. But to go from Rangers captain Jacob Trouba to the Maple Leafs captain, who now has another member of his squad making over $11 million, which is
Ooh.
fucking ridiculous and insane and stupid, but
Oh my.
deserved in some kind of way.
Oh no, totally deserved. I mean, again, he was gonna be the big free agent coming into this to next season, and they got him signed. I mean, they're becoming. It seems like they're becoming the Dodgers of friggin' of the NHL. I mean, they're just signing everyone to their
Oh
contract.
yeah,
But these,
it's
but yeah, like these big contracts though. I mean, they got 4 players wrapped up in almost $50 million for the next
more
couple
than
years.
yeah.
I mean, and they're not even playing like as well as they have been playing. Their
No,
goaltending is
they've been picking
shambles.
up.
They have been picking up,
Oh my god, yeah,
but
they destroyed San Jose last night, 7-1, baby.
well, it is San Jose. I
It
mean,
still doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I know it's still.
Doesn't matter. A win's a win.
A win's a win, but like I said, it's yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know how long they could sustain that for, like especially with in the salary cap era now. It's like, you know,
Uh,
you
I feel like they can a little bit. The cap should be going up a little bit every year now,
right,
coming up. So like, but I even said it the other day. This is a big gamble for a struggle that you're not going to really be able to keep up with, like you were saying. Like,
right,
it feels a little rough to maintain. I mean, don't get me wrong. Nylander's been playing out of his mind crazy for this entire year because
right.
it's his contract year.
Contract year.
This year he's played in every game for Toronto. They're 21-10-7. I mean, really fantastic player, but like it seems like a lot to invest in a player that held out on a contract with the other GM a couple of years ago.
And it's 11 million. I mean, like you said,
11.5.
that what is it?
It's 11.5, which is
11.5,
just close to being even more
almost
ridiculous.
12.
Like I
But
like,
yeah, it's like I said, as much as like I said, all the Devils fans in there are like, oh, this signed this guy. We signed a lot of our guys for between $7 and $8 million a year. I mean, they're long contracts, but they're all signed to, which will be decent money in the next 3-4 years. I mean, you got Jack Hughes. He's an 8 for 8 now, and he's only in I think his second or third year of this contract. I mean, he's just gonna get better, and you got him for $8 million, a superstar. You got him for $8 million. I mean, like I said, it's like I said, the Toronto thing. Like I'm just like, where are they getting this money from? I mean, shit.
LTIR and stuff like that. They
Yeah,
right now they have, I want to say, $0. Projected cap space $0. Current cap space 34,999. So $35,000 in cap space.
and as we come up to the as we come up to the trading deadlines, in a few months, they're gonna be they're gonna be stuck with what they got, or they're gonna have to find really low rent players, to fill out their playoff roster.
I think
You know,
they just gotta stick with what they got, and if you can get them moved somewhere for something easy, like better somewhere,
yeah,
because like Toronto's known for being able to pull off those crazy like rental deals on trade deadline day or leading up to it, like they did with
exactly.
Ryan O'Reilly last year. So like,
Yep.
I mean, it's not the. It doesn't seem like all hope is lost, but it just seems like you're investing way too much money on 4 players, which has been the issue that everybody's had with Toronto, their fans included, for since 2016.
Right.
So like,
I mean,
it's a big gamble on $11.5 million for 8 years. League maximum extensions are either super forgiving or they blow up in your face immediately. So hopefully with
yeah.
Toronto, they have a very good, fantastic player, but like they got to be super careful.
Oh, absolutely. And you gotta hope he doesn't fall off. Now he's got the contract.
Absolutely, because he's
That's
27 now, and his contract ends in 2031, 2031, 32. That's not a real year.
that's 20. That's not a real year.
So like, he's gonna be playing into his mid 30s.
Yeah.
Uh, you along with Austin and Mitch, who are, I mean, Mitch's contract is coming up in a couple years. So is Tavares's. Mitch, you probably bring back. I'm not sure if you bring back Tavares, even though he's your captain.
Right.
I mean, maybe you sign him for 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah, but again with Tavares, they might give him. He might give them like a hometown discount on an extension. No, I mean, because again,
I
he
agree.
loves. That's where he wanted to go to. That's why Islanders fans hate him because that's where he wanted to go, and he went to where he wanted to go. So if he wants to stay, a Maple Leaf, he's gonna find. Guarantee there, he'll talk to management and find a way to stay a Maple Leaf, even if it helps out the team, cap wise.
Oh, easily. I'm sure Brad Treliving would want Tavares to stay so he could probably keep him as captain for a
Right.
while. But like, I mean, he's 33 now. How much longer can you commit to him?
Right.
He's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but like, how much longer until Father Time catches up to him?
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, ride the horse until it breaks down. That especially like I said, if somebody that wants to be there, you give them as many chances as you possibly can to succeed, and you give them the tools around them, that's basically what they're trying to do is put the tools around them to keep him up at that level that he's expected to play at.
Yeah, they that level is that level just seems so hard to maintain, especially with how difficult the Toronto media can be on a player. I mean, granted,
Oh,
Tavares is relatively unfazed by it because he's just like I'm here to say my few couple words in the most monotone voice possible and get out. But
that's it.
like, he it's I hope it's sustainable for him because like I keep saying, it seems like Toronto's gambling with a lot of different shit right now, and
Right.
it's a really fine line between really good and really bad. Because,
Oh no,
like,
absolutely.
how are you getting anybody else?
That was my point exactly. Like I said, where are you gonna try to add on to, especially coming up in this year? If you think you have you just have a makings of a cup run, you want to be cup contenders. Like I said, when the trade deadline comes, and you can be able to finagle something, or who are you gonna put on long term IR? As I said, with the Devils, I know we got a few people that we can put on long term IR. Get all that, especially the Hamilton one. The Hamilton one's the big. I'm surprised they haven't put him on long term IR yet because he's not expected until at least the end of the season, if not maybe playoff time. And he's got like an 8.5 to $9 million cap hit on us right now that we can use as we go into, like I said, into trade deadline season and stuff. Where if they do want to make a big team, which is why I'm going back to the goaltending thing. Like I don't want to go out and just rent a goaltender and waste that money, if you don't think that this is the year. If the Devils brass thinks this is the year, which I don't see how they do. I mean, it's just not working out. I mean, just injuries this year, luck this year. I mean, it feels like one of those seasons that is just, let it play out. Your kids are young, and then go from there and build up for the next 5 to 6 years. Don't go for something now that you maybe can't achieve. Build it up for the next 5, 6 years and have it where you're always in cup of contention. So, like I said, it's Toronto. God bless you. I don't know how you're gonna do it, but like I said, they're the LA Dodgers now, of the NHL. I swear, they just sign every goddamn body.
Yeah, it's another just one of those situations where you look at it and just go, oh no, because like that was my first reaction was just, oh no, my god, like that's a lot of numbers.
You
But
are so you are so gonna make me fucking do that TikTok with that "Oh No" song as many times you said it in the
no,
last five
don't,
minutes.
please don't, God, oh no, gosh.
No, I won't do
But
that to you. I
from
promise.
oh no to go no, we had a trade the other day on Monday, same
Oh,
time as that disgusting Rangers game.
oh,
The Philadelphia Flyers trade a fifth overall selection from the 2022 draft, Cutter Gauthier, to the Anaheim Ducks for a second round selection in 2025, I want to say.
I think it is. Yeah.
And defenseman Jamie Drysdale. Uh, a lot of stuff came out about this
Ooh.
situation super fast, and a lot of
Wow.
people are talking about it.
You got to give it to the Philly brass though. They came right out and
Oh, I've
and
never seen
they laid out their dirty laundry
I've never seen a more
ASAP.
better executed public fuck you to a player than the Flyers have done to Cutter.
Oh.
That that was brutal to see
Ben
all that
Simmons
stuff coming out
Ben
about it.
Simmons 2.0 this kid is going to be now.
Yeah.
He's he's going to be one of the top two hated players in Philadelphia. It's either Ben Simmons, Cutter, Gautier, I said it right,
There you go.
and anybody wearing a Dallas Cowboys uniform. That's basically the three most hated, or an Atlanta Braves jersey, because
Tommy
that's
Cutler.
another, or a Mets jersey, because that's another one of those most hated Philly people. But oh, what? I mean, I don't. First of all,
What period?
exactly. But let's take it from the kid's perspective. What do you think? What do you think that? Again, because I don't unless I haven't heard anything today. I haven't heard anything from his side yet of like what happened, because when he got drafted by Philly, he was gun ho about being a Flyer. He was. I remember watching the draft that night, and he was like, "This is where I want to be. I want to be a Flyer." And then all of a sudden, it just
And then
something changed.
well, Philly. I was gonna say Phillies fans. They're not Phillies fans. Flyers fans. Flyers fans were kind of like already not too thrilled with him after he got drafted. They were asking, like, they always ask him, like, oh, who's your favorite, like, who's your idol, who's your favorite team growing up.
Yes.
He said Sid, and he said he liked the Pens.
Which is
Why?
understandable because again,
No,
during
understandable, but like,
that's the stretch,
you just got drafted by the Flyers. Why are you gonna say you like the Pens?
I guess he was just being honest. I mean, maybe, you know,
You gotta know the team that you just got drafted by in their history.
yeah, I got it. But again, I wouldn't say anything like if a Nemec came, I was like, oh, oh well, in Slovakia, I was a big fan of the Rangers or something. I would be like, all right, well, it is what it is. But he's on our team now. He'll embrace our culture, and maybe he'll want to prove against his childhood team that he's really good.
Yeah, but I
So
feel like Devils fans are more forgiving than Flyers fans. The Philadelphia fans are brutal in
we
going
all
about. They'll tear down the city for a win.
we talked about this on on an older podcast where Philly fans are South Jersey and Philly fans are the worst fans ever. And like I said, this is coming from a Phillies fan who loves the Phillies in baseball. I've seen it personally, and I said me and you have gone to Mets Phillies games, and we've seen the Phillies fans how crazy they could be even in Citi Field we saw how crazy they could be. And Philly fans are just another breed, man.
Yeah.
But again, you gotta love Briere coming out and laying
Oh,
it right on the line of
I
why they
mean,
traded his ass.
absolutely. In respect to Briere, he's done a fantastic job so far as Flyers GM. I don't feel like he did anything wrong in handling this situation. He did it
No.
right. He said he said it from the jump. He wanted to make sure he protected the kid,
Yep.
kid through all the trade talks, making sure nothing got out. Good for him on that.
Yeah, because
Keith Jones coming. Go ahead.
Listen, it shocked the hell out of me when I even saw the trade.
So did I. I was shocked too.
Because I was watching World Juniors. Like I said, go USA, God bless, woo baby. But anyway, I was watching that, and then I remember the name. I'm like, all right. I remember he got drafted. I couldn't even remember where he got drafted to. I was like, oh, I remember he got drafted early in an early pick. And I was watching him play. I'm like, all right, this kid's pretty good. All right, and then all of a sudden, like 3 days later, he got traded. I was like, what? And then, like I said, that's when I really deep dived into the story, and it was like, oh wow. And
Torts
Tortorella
with the
Tortorella
with
his,
the best
with his
quotes.
fucking, He would know Cutter from a hole in
in
the
the
wall.
wall.
I was fucking
Oh,
rolling. Oh,
to then turn
God
around and immediately
damn.
say all I care about is Jamie coming in. That I don't care. I don't give a fuck about this guy. I want to talk about the guy that's coming in that's playing for my team. That is a good Torts quote.
That is, oh,
Everybody in
the
the
guy,
Flyers organization is doing a fantastic job handling this situation. And did you hear Keith Jones? I mean, if you don't want to be a Flyer, you're not going to be a Flyer. Fantastic, hard as fuck line coming from Keith Jones, who I used to hate. I used to
yeah,
hate Keith Jones when he was on NBC Sports doing the intermissions.
yes.
Hated him. Fantastic line. Love him as Flyers president of hockey ops, whatever he says.
Whatever the
Fantastic.
title is, yeah.
On Instagram, the Flyers social media manager and whoever runs the page deserves a raise, posting pictures of Drysdale saying happy to be here. Fantastic. Love the Flyers right now for what they're doing with the situation. They got rid of the kid fast. They got a good trade back for what they needed to do.
You can't beat it.
No, you can't. I mean,
You can't beat it. I mean, hopefully it's a win-win for both teams. I mean, like I said, you don't want to, again, you don't know what the kid was saying. You know, again, you haven't really heard his side.
the
of
kid
story.
wasn't saying anything. He wasn't talking to him. He wasn't saying a damn
but
fucking
again,
thing.
once his story comes out and what he was thinking in his brain, then we can adjust from both sides of it and see, was it worth it for them to trade a talent like that. I mean, and again, we'll see as he comes up. I mean, I think the biggest rumor I heard with him was that he was upset with Philly for sending him back to juniors. I think that was the biggest thing.
Yeah,
like,
because of the bonus incentive. The Flyers would have suffered an overage on their bonus incentives and would have suffered a penalty for it, and they didn't want to pay it, which is fair.
Right.
And like,
yeah, it is smart.
And like, kid, go juice up a little bit. Go bulk up. Go get some more Go get some more skill under your belt against kids that you know you're gonna fucking destroy. You just won gold at the World Juniors.
Exactly.
Like, go destroy these kids so you can come play with the men as a man. You're still a young kid. Your career's just starting, and Scotty Hartnell said it best. Who is this kid that hasn't played an NHL game to decide where he gets to go?
Right. Speaking and going back to you say about go back to the men's thing. Great quote by Brendan Smith after that game against Chicago was, now he realizes that he's in a men's league now. He's not playing with boys. He's in a men's league. Which
I saw that.
To me, Brendan
that was
Smith,
hard.
great interview. I want him to score now all the time just so I can get him interviewed because what a great interview he was. And he had his cancer jam this weekend, which again,
good.
Great guy. I saw pictures from it. It was really, again, I hate anybody that shits on Brendan Smith right now. Like I said, he's becoming a really good part of this team, and I'm enjoying him right now. You could throw him, like I said, you could throw him on the fourth line. You could throw him at defense. I mean, like I said, the game against Vancouver where everyone was getting hurt, I mean, he was, like I said, he was playing defense, and then he jumped up to the fourth line and was playing tremendous as a fourth liner. So, like I said, anyway, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but
no. You're more than good. Because
when you said the men's league, I remember the Smith quote after the game with Erica, and it was that made me friggin' howl real quick. So.
No, yeah, I totally understand what you're talking about. With the Cutter stuff, I mean, everybody's talking about it. You can find all the information everywhere. So like, we don't really need to go too deep into it. We already have gone pretty much with what we all know already.
Yeah.
But going back to Brendan Smith, if he's lucky, he could be singing All-Star. Like we just got the selections in, and
we did? Okay. Good. Perfect.
Well, the selections for the ones that we know already of the people that deserve to be there. The people that deserve to be there.
I thought the voting ended tomorrow, but okay. Yes, the original selections. Yes.
It's saying the initial list is. It's not telling me one. That's a different date. Okay, cool. ESPN just won't tell me. Cool. But the other day we got the first selection of players to both All-Star teams for the conferences, and there's a couple names that stand out to me as surprising.
Before you start, before
Go
we
ahead.
start naming names, how do you feel about having? Because this was the big thing that I was reading on Twitter and social media was. How do you feel about every team having to be represented? Do you feel like every team should have at least one representative, or do you think it should be the All Stars and the All Stars, and that's it?
Ev- I feel every team deserves to have one person there because it's a league event.
That's
Uh,
all right. Okay.
every every player should have every team should have the opportunity to say, I pay into this league. I pay for the ability to have my team here. I feel I deserve to have one of my players be represented at the All-Star game. Every team has one player that deserves to be represented in some kind of way at
Yeah,
the
I
All-Star game.
I could definitely agree with you because I know with the NFL, like I know, like I said, this year none of the Patriots got voted to the Pro Bowl, and again, it was just one of those questions I was just thinking about, having, because again, now why would I watch the Pro Bowl even if to see the one person that's on my team do it because you didn't vote anybody in, so I really don't care. So
I mean, yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, it it could be a little discouraging for fans not to watch if like their favorite player isn't there because it could be a fan favorite that they're
right,
sending.
exactly. Which is
So
again, if you look at the list, some of there's a lot of fan favorites from like really bad teams that
yeah,
are on that
Boone
list.
Jenner. Why the fuck is Boone Jenner in the All
Boone
Star
Jenner,
game?
yeah, that was the biggest one that came up was the Boone Jenner one from Columbus.
Yeah, couple other names that were picked: DeBrinket from Detroit, Pasta, Aho
Good
from
pick, good.
Carolina. Good
Yep,
picks.
good pick.
Reinhardt from Florida, pretty good.
Pretty good. I mean, you could have went Kachuk there, but
You could
I mean,
have, but Reinhardt's been doing really good this season.
yeah,
24 goals, 21 assists, 37
yep,
games played. Pretty solid for the tri-state. Jack, Barzell, Igor.
yep.
Three
The
fantastic
Igor
picks.
now the Igor one that's the one I was the main one from this area. How do you feel about the Igor one? Just because again he was hurt in the middle of the season. Quick has come in and played really well. I
I
mean,
wouldn't have given it to Quick.
no, not Quick, but I'm just saying maybe another Ranger in general. I know Panarin. I don't know if
He's
it's
getting ready
was
to
it
have a
real
baby.
with the okay, it was real with the Instagram thing. I didn't
Yeah,
know if
no,
that was just
that's a real thing. He's getting ready to
okay
have a baby.
because I heard about that and I didn't vote for him. Like I said, because I would have voted. Because again, I'm not one of those people that are like, oh, well, you play for the Rangers, I'm not voting for you. If you deserve it, I feel like you should be on the
Absolutely.
team. So I would have voted for him, but I saw that I'm like, oh well, I'm not gonna waste a vote for him if he's not even gonna play. So
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'll pick somebody else that was a little deserving that I definitely know would want to play.
And who'd you pick?
Oh, again, they give you you can pick 8 skaters and 4 goalies. I think I picked of course Jesper Bratt.
Of course.
I picked a couple players that that like Colorado like a
Makar.
Makar. A Makar.
You almost said Malarchuk.
I know it's similar.
Bringing Clint back.
I couldn't spit it out fast enough. But yeah, there was Drysdale, of course, from
All right.
Edmonton.
All right.
People I pick, just
Respectable
basic,
picks.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I picked Luke just because
Jimmy
again,
Vesey.
I want to see the three of them play together. So I fell for the loop of voting for Luke, all my time.
That's fine.
But again, he deserves it. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
Except for Bedard, I mean, he's one of the top. He's top in rookie defenseman points.
Mhm.
He's top in rookie points regardless. I mean, he's played a great season. I mean, yes, he's had a couple of blockhead plays here and there on defense, but
He's
I mean,
he's
the
young.
kid's-
It happens.
20. I
Yeah.
mean, give him a break. He's gonna grow into it. And like I said, between him and Nemeth, I mean, I'm like my defense is solid for the next 10, 15 years now with those two. So I'm very happy with that. But yeah, I voted for Luke all day because again, I see it in. It feels like the NHL. That's where they're going. They love those three kids together.
Yeah.
They want them to succeed. So let's have fun.
Yeah.
And
No.
like I said,
Absolutely.
and especially now with the voting the way it is that they're doing the player draft again.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I find that I like that system. I like the way they do that. It gives the fans something else to watch.
Somebody
before
needs a
the
car.
All-Star game. No, I enjoy the player. And again, I'm sure they'll set it up some way. If he makes it in, they'll set it up some way where all three of them are on the same team.
Absolutely. But
You know, it,
uh, uh,
go for it.
I want to go back to what you were talking about before with the Rangers and Igor being picked. Uh, Honestly, I'm not too surprised with the pick. Honestly, though, I would have loved to see Lafreniere get in there.
That would have
Laffy
been a great.
deserves it a lot more than I feel like Igor does. He Laffy's been an all-star this year. He has been the one player every game that is showing up to play hockey.
Right.
I've had zero complaints with him. Don't listen to me at the beginning of the season when I said he should have been in the AHL, but whatever.
We won't hold you that.
You have multiple times in a couple episodes.
Yes, I have.
No, Igor. Yeah, he's what you think of when you look at the Rangers.
Of course.
It's him, Kreider, Panarin, Mika. So like, those are probably the guys that you're jumping to first. But I feel like Laffy as the Rangers' homegrown boy is just like is the one that deserved to be there. But like, Igor was the only goaltender picked in the Eastern Conference,
Right.
so they needed somebody. But like,
Right.
good for Igor. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt. Hopefully he has fun.
And Rangers fans. I mean, again, original six team. They got so many fans. I'm sure they'll get a couple extra. They'll get at least one or two players, easily in. So again, I mean, just for as the original choice, I just thought it was just a name pick. Like it's just because of his name value.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I agree too.
Yeah, it was a name value pick that he's one of the best goalies in the world, and they put him in. Because again, the Rangers will get one or two at least in the All-Star game, regardless. Yeah. Just by fan voting, and Rangers fans will be voting for all their favorite Rangers. Just like Devils fans try to do it, but and again, except for the Luke Hughes like trying to play with his brothers thing, that's the only reason that Luke is even up there.
Yeah.
Because Jesper Bratt has had a tremendous season with the Devils and is one of the top scorers in NHL, and is nowhere near the top in fan voting. Nowhere near the top.
Can't have Jesper Bratt in the All-Star game. We don't want the BP there infiltrating, just lingering, just lurking.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God, we were talking about a fucking tank last episode. We could talk about the BP.
Oh.
But no, we could talk about the Western Conference All-Stars because Cam Talbot is an All-Star at 36 years old, which is more good for him, but like more concerning than Igor as a pick because like oof da.
And especially with the West, I mean, they got so many good goaltenders out there that they could have chose from.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have went Ingrid,
Ingram.
from Arizona. Even
I mean, Clayton Keller's a good choice for Arizona.
Your 2024 Coco Cup winner.
Oh, the Coco Cup. Holy shit, the Coco Cup. I forgot about that because gang, that part got cut out of the episode last week. We lost the audio on it. The Coco Cup. Yes, let's talk about the Winter Classic while we still got a couple more minutes before we got to wrap her up. But yeah, the Winter Classic was a fantastic game this year. I thought it was really, really good. It was really fun to watch.
Yes, absolutely. Good atmosphere in Seattle. Good atmosphere.
Oh, the
flying fish. I mean, come on now. You can't go any wrong with
Tanev
that.
almost got hit by a fish, but it's fine. It's fine. It happens.
No, it was a tremendous game.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic.
3-9 again. It was a good, solid game. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed it. I mean,
I got one issue. I got one issue with the game. After the first period, they had a musical guest. And Barracuda, baby. It hit me like a freight train, and I was like, ugh.
But yeah, like I said, your boy here was laid up, sick as a dog, and freaking watching that game, and it was a nice distraction for a few hours to, instead of coughing and sneezing on every goddamn thing, just lay back in my bed and watch the Winter Classic.
Yeah,
It was,
from
like I said, I enjoyed it. It was a good game. So
from Winter COVID to Winter Classic to the Cocoa Cup, but we got to wrap it up here, gang. We've hit our hour mark, and it's about time we let you get the hitting the road there. I don't know what I'm talking about, but
that's okay.
gang, we love yous. We're so thankful for having you here for another week for another great episode. We hope you all enjoy as much as we did. We hope to see you guys next week. Check us out on all our social medias. And yeah, Gunk, take them away. Tell them that we love them.
Uh, you know what, everyone? We love you so much as we go into 2024. Like I said, the season's just getting heated up. Like I said, we got a lot of hockey still to play. All-Star game coming up in about a month. Like I said, we got Stadium Series coming up in about a month. And I am super excited. Actually, I want to drop something right now.
Oh, drop it.
Before we go, like I said, I know I've missed a few weeks here and there with a lot of stuff going on in my life and stuff like that. But I appreciate everyone, sending out well wishes and everything over the last, especially few months that I've had. And I did this before all the really stuff was happening in my life. I didn't get to see Nick for Christmas because again, I was, we had family things going on, and then we had other stuff, and then like I said, I got sick in January, and again, I haven't talked to Nick, so I haven't given him his Christmas present yet.
Oh.
So on the podcast live, I want to let him know that please clear out the 17th of February on a Saturday night, because the What the Puck podcast will be at MetLife Stadium for Devils Flyers. Me and you, we are going. And I want to announce it first on the podcast. So I know how much you love hockey, and it's an experience of an outdoor game. I treated us to pretty good seats at MetLife, and I hope you.
You're insane.
I hope you.
You're insane.
I love my Nick. As much as he's my partner, I love him as my nephew, like full farley. I've known him since he was this big, and we always go to at least one game a year. And I thought this would be special, especially with the podcast now out. And like I said, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Thank you so much, Gog.
I love doing our podcast. Between Maddie's love for hockey now that she's developed, and you've always loved hockey, and just the back and forth with each other. You will always be my hockey buddy and always my podcast partner. So yes, hopefully, like I said, I know you're off Saturdays, so hopefully we will be doing the NHL so you can knock it off your bucket list of hockey stuff to do. You will be going to an outdoor game with the Gunk as we do a What the Puck podcast at MetLife Stadium on February 17th. It will be Flyers versus Devils, and we will be there live.
You are insane, baby. Thank you so much. I cannot appreciate you more. Gang, you get to see the reaction live here. Gunk, I love you. Gang, I love you. We'll wrap it up from here. Check us out on our social medias at What the Puck Pod. Check us out here on YouTube at What the Puck Pod. We love you. Have a great night, great weekend, wherever you are. Love you. Peace.